Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dion. This here is Holiday Cocoa Chapstick. I picked it at random. As you can see from my face, I am excited. Well, my smile anyway. I only have one skincare right now and I did do my brows. This is the first video for our month of McGrath. Let me do the intro. I call this the crazy troll nation of YouTube. The crazy just enjoying the videos that you do and enjoying the channels that you're subscribed to and the videos that you watch. The troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards. Set the standard for yourself. Try not to feel like you need to use a certain brand or a certain tool or even a certain technique. Use whatever you want to, however you want to get your makeup on in a way, that you are satisfied with it. Because here at the Crazy Troll Nation, we are about self-acceptance and self-love. Embracing your natural features, enhancing them if you want to, when you want to, but never feeling like you have to. Thank you for being here. I do need to let you know, if this is your first time here, I do curse sometimes in my videos because I curse sometimes in real life. Thank you for being here. If you've been here before, welcome back. I am super excited. So this is how this series is going to go. The base face I do today, if I like it, it will be the base face we do for all the looks. And what we're going to do is we're going to systematically work through my motherships. We're going to do the typical ethereal looks, which is not my preference, but I know they are well loved by a lot of people. Motherships 1 through 3 are on the smokier side, so that may be a bit challenging, but I'm going to do my best. And I'm excited for this, and I probably should have on my lab coat because me intentionally doing ethereal looks is an experiment, because my preference is smoky, messy, grunge, bold colors, swamp water type looks, vampy looks. And so just anything that's bold and like pow is what I like. I don't tend towards monochromatic looks or ethereal looks, even though I do think they look nice and they look nice on me. It's just not my preference for myself. So I'm just saying all of that to set context to why I'm so excited to see if I can do the type of looks that I see people do with Pat's Mothership palettes. And when we get to the second part of the series, I will explain what that's going to be about. So this is the first part. We're going to work through motherships. I have 1 through 6 and I have mothership 10. So that's 7 looks, 7 different videos. And I'm trying to decide if I'm going to sprinkle in other content throughout the month. Not doing eyeshadow looks though, because it is a month of McGrath, but just to break it up, because I don't want you to get bored like, oh my gosh, she has another Pat video coming out again today. But this is a month of McGrath, and so this is what we're doing and I'm excited about it. I've been playing around with the base face, so we're going to do it again today. Hopefully it works out, and I'm just excited. Can you tell from my face? So we're going to start with the Fenty primer. This is not the Fenty primer, troll. It is one of my go-tos, and so it's just, or you know, the Milk Hydro Grip. So the only thing for base face we're not going to use, because it didn't work out color-wise for me, is the Pat concealer and the Pat under eye powder. And we are going to try the Pat setting powder in medium light 2. This was an empty Fashion Fair container that I put it in just for ease of usage, because it does have a sifter. And this was too light under my eyes, but it does work well for my face, and so we're going to see. So for under eye concealer, we're going to use the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Flawless Wear Concealer, and this shade is 4N. All the base face stuff will be listed down below, and whatever else I use on my face will be listed down below. They are affiliate links. If you should use them, I will receive a commission at no additional cost to you. The only other thing, what else are we not using? Just the concealer and the under eye setting powder we're not using. And if it turns out that this powder is still just way too light, but I think I can make it work with bronzers, because I did that and it did turn out nice. So let's jump into this video. So remember this base face, because the next 6 videos, it'll be the same base face. The only difference may be actually just the blushes. I have 2 bronzers and 3 blushes, but the Pat McGrath primer, her foundation, which is M18, the setting powder in medium light 2, that's going to be the face that you're going to see. And if I do add other stuff, I will let you know. So we're going to go in with the primer. At first I didn't like this. This is from Teamy, but I do like it because I can still hold stuff and do stuff with the product on here. I'm only going to do 2 pumps. I have heard from some of you, and I thank you for what you said, because I was wondering why, for me, the Pat McGrath foundation, excuse me, takes so long to dry down. And someone said it might have been the Milk Hydro Grip primer, because it is a tacky primer. But for me, it's also hydrating. And whether I use no primer, meaning just putting the foundation on top of skincare after, you know, it dries down, whether I do that or whether I use the Milk Hydro Grip primer or the Pat McGrath primer, the foundation just doesn't want to dry down. And after about 40 minutes, I'll just powder my face down because I'm ready to go ahead and put blushes and bronzer and highlight on. And so I'm thinking, excuse me for that, I'm thinking maybe my skin is just, I don't know. I don't want to say like super hydrated, because my skin is not oily nor is it dry. I do have sensitive skin, but that doesn't have anything to do with if a foundation is not going to dry down or not. You know what I mean? And this is the only foundation that does this to me, where it doesn't dry down. The Fenty foundation mixed with the primer dries down, you know, fairly quickly, depending if I do 2 pumps or 3. The Estee Lauder dries down nicely, unless I'm in a rush, and then I'll just powder it down. So I think it's just the way this primer, the way this foundation wears on my skin. That's what I think. So now we're going to go in with the non-Estee Lauder concealer, and we're just going to put just a little bit. And I don't know what this is. Something bit me. Sometimes it's humid in here. I live on the top floor, and so I find myself constantly adjusting my thermostat, because when it gets more humid outside, it gets more humid in here. I don't think that there's much insulation up top in the attic crawl space, rafters, whatever they call it, I don't know. But I don't think there's much insulation up there. And so whatever the temperature is outside, if it's really humid, it just filters down here. And so sometimes it's really just humid in here, and then I turn the thermostat. Well, I turn the temperature down. Right now it's on 74, I think. It's comfortable in here at 75 with all the fans on to keep the air moving. But when I do videos, the oscillating fan over here, I turn off because it makes my voice oscillate. And so that's why sometimes in videos, I will start to sweat, especially if I forget to turn the thermostat down to like 72. Yeah, so this is going to be a chatty one. And this will probably be the longest video, because I am talking through the base face, because I just want you to see what it is that I'm going to be doing. And so the next videos you see, the base face will be done. And so that's why this is going to be longer. You see how perfect this is for this area? It just canceled out the redness. And I kind of want to take a little bit more, because the foundation doesn't always cover the redness here, which is okay, because I do have redness and I still want to look like me. And so it is okay if a little bit of my redness pokes through. It's okay if, excuse me, some of my under eye discoloration pokes through, because my face is what it is. And regardless of, you know, what makeup I put on, I still want to look like me. I don't want to look completely blanked out, or when I don't wear makeup, I look like a different person. Because people who know me, they know what I look like without foundation on. And so that's why I really don't mind if my discoloration shows through just a little bit. I do like to even out my face some, but I don't want to completely blank out my face. So that is that, and you'll see it's still red like right here. and right here. And some of it is I'm starting to sweat. This is the brush that had the primer. We're just going to press that in. Thank you for being here. Let me know if you're excited to see me do ethereal looks, like on purpose. And not just, this is how it came out. It's nice, but it's not my vibe. And actually, I would go out like this because to me, this still just looks like me. Except I want to put a little bit more over here. Patting it with the brush that had the primer on it did remove some of the coverage. So let me know down below. Oh, here's a tidbit for you. I said in a previous video, actually I mentioned these terms I'm going to say in a few videos. Farfanugan, shindig, and let's get jiggy with it. And in one of the videos I said, let's farfanugan to the shindig and get jiggy with it. I did Google, because I remembered farfanugan, and it's from an old Volkswagen commercial from back in the day. I'm 53, so if you're around my age, you might remember those commercials. But farfanugan means drive safely or drive pleasurably. And I had said shindig a couple times in the video, and then I'm like, I don't even know what it means. I just remember hearing it. And so we were going back and forth in the comments trying to figure out, okay, what does it mean? And so I Googled it, and shindig is an outdoor gathering, and there's a band, and they play music, and it's fueled by audience participation. So sort of like if you go to a festival or a fair and there's a band playing music and the audience sings along and they're like, hey, what song you want to hear? And then the band will play the song that, you know, people called out. And so that's shindig, an outdoor gathering, a music band playing with audience participation. And let's get jiggy with it is from a song, a hip hop song, meaning let's party, let's dance, let's just have a good time. And so when I say, let's farfanugan to the shindig and get jiggy with it, what I'm saying is, let's drive safely to the outdoor gathering and participate with the audience, dancing and having a good time. That's what let's farfanugan to the shindig and get jiggy with it means. That's going to come up in a week or so. So remember this. And you may remember because you're like, why is she telling me this stuff? Like, what is she talking about? You're welcome. So this will come up in about a week or so. So, and I'm excited about that as well. So we're going to shake up the foundation. I'm wondering if I should do this as a premiere because this is going to be super chatty and my premieres are usually about an hour, and I kind of feel like this is going to be that way because it is going to be so chatty. But that means I need to make sure. Oh, that just shot out. We're going to do 3 pumps, which is usually what I do. When I do 2, I run out a third when I have like a third of my face left. So we're going to put this on. I'm not going to put directly under my eyes this time because I want to see how this is going to look on my face once it's blended, because the under eye part was still what was not looking quite right. I had to zhuzh it up and do other things, and I did make it work, but I want to see if I can make it work without putting the foundation under my eye, especially because I think the concealer looks good. It looks great around my mouth area, canceling out that redness. So this is the foundation. I really like this foundation. If you're a light to light medium coverage type of person, I think you would like this foundation. Pat's website has sales more frequently, it seems, than she used to. It used to be like every 3 months. Now it seems like, you know, every 3 weeks. And so price-wise, if you buy luxury or high-end foundation, price-wise with the sale is comparable. And so I don't have problems paying that, the price that it is. And so you see what I mean, like right here and right here with the redness. And we do still have a little bit left. And so we're going to pat more to see if it is really buildable. And to some extent it is. If I pat it and leave it, now if I swipe it, you see how that redness came right back? And so for me, if I'm building up coverage, just pat it and don't swipe it. And I do usually typically pat first, and then if I see lines or like how this is stuck in my hairline, then I may go through and do swirls, particularly in this area because there's no redness there or my chin area. But for the interior of my face, and that was all 3 pumps, I will just pat it so that way it'll stay. And I'm liking how there's a shadow right here. And so what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna pat on this line. And I think it looks okay. I mean, yes, my discoloration is there. As I said, I don't want to blank out my face, but I don't want it to be distracting either. And by the time I put shadow under my eye and blend that out, buff that out, that will help reduce the appearance of the under eye discoloration because it will camouflage some of it. So this is what we're looking like. And I do want to try that powder on my under eye, but part of me is afraid to mess up, but we're going to do it because I just want to see. I'm thinking this is not a good idea, but we're going to take some of the powder and we're just going to take a little bit. And I am nervous to do this. I really am. This is the setting powder for the face. I was thinking also, yeah, that mattifies too, and so it does. Got powder in my throat. This is my darkest patch right here. Mattifying powder, it does make it look like my under eye discoloration is poking through, because as you can see, even looking at my forehead now, this foundation is luminous, and so the luminosity of it, it does reflect light off of my face, and so it does kind of camouflage the discoloration some. I'm going to go ahead and powder down my entire face. I was going to wait to see if it'll dry down, but we're just going to go ahead and powder down since we are powdering, and this is still the same. Every time I use this powder, I have to hold my breath and remember not to inhale because it gets in my throat. And I don't like to not chit chat when I'm doing makeup, because when I watch videos and there's no sound, well, I should say talking in particular, low-key I feel a little bored. And sometimes I'm multitasking, and so I might be balancing my checkbook, or I might be folding clothes. And so every minute I'm not looking at the video, but I'm listening. And if they say something and I missed it, I'll rewind it. But for the most part, I like just hearing people talk while they're doing makeup, because then when it's quiet, I'm like, is the video over? Like, what's going on? And so I try to keep that in mind when I do my videos, but that if I'm not speaking, to edit it out. So again, this is the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfecting Setting Powder Medium Light 2. It says all my labels that are on here, because again, this is in a Fashion Fair container. This is the Fashion Fair powder. This is the Pat McGrath with all the Pat McGrath information on it. So that powder gets in my throat. So we're going to, everything is dry now, which is awesome. We're going to take the bronzers, and this is what I did the other day. I'm glad, I'm content with my under eye like this, because I was thinking I'm going to need to pause and go take a sip of water or something, because I don't want to have to keep clearing my throat. I'll be right back. I am content with the way my under eyes are looking. Making sure I'm not sweating yet. And so I'm not going to put anything else. So I'm glad I did put the powder under here, the medium light 2, because now I know I can use it. The powder is a little light for me, but what I'm going to do now is what I did the other day, and it worked out perfect. These are the 2 bronzers that I have. I have Bronze Divinity, which I traded with a friend, and this is Bronze Divinity. This is Desert Glow. This is the one that has the shimmer to it. So we're going to take, I need more water. So we're going to take Bronze Divinity, and we're going to use this as our bronzer. And so we're going to put this here and over here. And this will help balance out how my complexion is looking, because that powder is too light. But once we get this on, I'm going to use the tip of the brush, and we're going to come along down here. Thank you for being here. If you, oh my goodness, if you have any of the Motherships, let me know. When I get them is when they're either 30% off. Right now, as of, and it's not July yet, even though July is our month of McGrath, there's a few of them that are 40% off. And I was checking to see if some of the ones I have are due to expire like in the next month or so, because I was really going to get another one, but none of mine are expiring soon. But that's when I purchased the ones that I have, is when there was, you know, like a 30 or 40% off sale, because then it's still expensive if you're not used to luxury and high-end makeup prices. And so I spend about 90 bucks, or if they're like 40% off, it might be like 78 bucks or something like that. And so it's not unheard of for me. But let me know if you have Pat McGrath Motherships, and if you do you just get them like when they first come out because you're so excited, or do you wait until a sale comes? And so you see how this is adding color back into my face. So we're going to put that brush down, and we're going to take Desert Glow, and we're going to, some of the brushes I have I don't particularly care for, but they work well. But I'm just like I don't really want to use it. So that's why sometimes I'm like about the brushes. We're going to take this brush. This is Desert Glow bronzer, and we're going to put this right here. So sort of like a bronzer, as they say, when you use a blush as a bronzer. I mean a bronzer as a blush. Or am I saying it backwards? Is bronzer a blush that you're using as a blush and bronzer, or the other way around? A bronzer that you're using as a blush. But we are going to put a blush on later. I do have 3 different ones, but I just want you to see, if all else fails, this is the face you're going to see. This is the base face that you're going to see. And so now it does look like my face is evened out. I have color in the cheeks. My face isn't looking too light. I'm looking right here. I need to shave my mustache. That's what I need to do. I noticed that earlier today. I was just like, yeah, girl. Today is the day to cut my hair, and that's usually when I shave parts of my face too. So this is the base face. We're going to figure out blush later, and I'm going to sit them out so that I don't forget, because I have a feeling I will forget. I do have brushes out. We're not even going to get into what they are. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to prime my eyes. Oh, that was the other thing. No pat concealer, no pat under eye powder, no pat eye primer. I did have the Artistry wand, and my eyelids did not like it. And so I was disappointed in that, because it was really easy to, even if I had shadow on my lid, to use the Artistry wand to put on the center of the lid, and then use a sponge tip applicator and put a celestial shade on the middle. And so it was really easy. Or to use just a small dense shader brush. And so I really tried to make it work, because first I thought maybe I'm putting too much of the Artistry wand, because it's clear and you couldn't see it. So I thought maybe I put too thick of a layer, and so next time I put less. And each time I used it, my eyelids were sensitive and itchy and sore to touch. And so I'm like, you know what, that is not for me. So that's why we don't have that. So we're going to blend that out, and then we're going to get started with Mothership #1 Subliminal. This is what Mothership #1 Subliminal, did I say that right? Subliminal? Did I say subliminal? I probably did. This is what Subliminal looks like. And I hesitated purchasing it, and this is one of my favorites, because every look I did with this out the gate, I liked. The first look I used the top row, and the second look I used the bottom row, and both looks were bomb. Usually it takes me maybe the 3rd or 4th look to be like, wow, I like this, this is my vibe. When I did those 2 looks and they were super easy, it was my vibe like right away. And it surprised me because it looks cool tone, but it pulls a little neutral on me. So it's like a cool neutral tone palette on my complexion. And so it surprised me, and I am glad that I have it. And so I'm going to also work outward, inward, dark to light. I know, y'all, I'm trying new things, and I don't know. So we're going to go into depth, which is this shade here. I'm nervous about doing outer first, and this is a technique that Natasha Denona does, and I did it with her Xenon palette, and I was like, okay, this is bomb. And what I liked about it was creating the shape, because I have a tendency to go round because my eye shape is rounded, but doing the shape first, the outer corner, it was really nice. And I did use a smaller brush and a more dense brush because the shades we were using were her cream to powder or the creamy mattes, which to me do function better with a small dense brush. And I'm thinking I want to do that with this only because for me the Fenty primer is a tacky primer, and I know for some people it's not. Isn't it amazing? Well, I should say interesting. Isn't it interesting how we're going to switch brushes to a small dense brush? Isn't it interesting how different things work on different people? And as I said, like, my skin isn't dry, it isn't dehydrated, it's just regular. But for me, this is a tacky primer. For other people, it's not. And the same with Pat McGrath foundation not drying down. Some people it does dry down. And people with oily skin, they have to set their foundation either way. But for me, some foundations do just dry down on their own. So, and you know what, also the Fenty is a soft matte foundation, and the Estee Lauder is a full coverage matte foundation. So maybe that's why those dry down and the Pat one doesn't, because Pat's foundation is so sheer. I think that's what it is. It's just a different texture of it. But I'm just so used to foundations drying down. I'm like, why is it not? Well, troll, after all the times you've used it, you just now realize the texture is different because it's not a soft matte or a full coverage concealer. I mean, foundation. So I answered my own question. It doesn't dry down because of the consistency of it. So I will stop asking that question. So this is the shape that we're working with. And now we're going to go into substance, this shade here. So this was the first shade. Now we're going to go into this shade. This is very new for me, and I'm excited about it. And the reason that I wanted to start doing this is because, okay, if this is what Natasha does, even though this is a Pat video, if this is how she's applying her shadows, why would I not try to apply them how she applies them? Like, she created the palette, the colors, that's her technique, and it looks bomb. So like, why would I not try that? And I really liked how it turned out, except I wished I had taken my lid shades up higher. And I do that because I have all of this space up here. I don't do transition shade and then crease shade and then lid shade. And so as my intro goes, you know, put your makeup on the way that you're satisfied with it. And so when I started doing YouTube, even back in the day when I was still a Junkie 07, that'll come up again in a week or so, I was doing it what I call the YouTuber's way. Transition, crease, lid, outer corner. And I wasn't always liking the looks because it wasn't suitable for my eye shape. And so just try different things and see what you like best on yourself. And what you find you like best for yourself, that's what you do. And try not to feel like you're inadequate or your makeup's not nice because you're not doing what other people say you should do. And that's the thing. Just be confident in yourself. Set the standard for yourself. Try not to care too much about the beauty community saying you must do it this way or you must do it that way. Because no, you don't. You do it the way you want to do it. If you like it, I love it for you. Everything is not for everybody. And speaking of such, that's why I thank you for being here, because y'all could be watching anybody's video and y'all are here watching me, and I appreciate that. So that is that shade. We're going to take another brush and we're going to go into this shade. I didn't say what they were, did I? Yeah, this was Substance. I did say that. This was depth, and now we're going to go into lilac, this shade here. So it is going to be monochromatic, smoky by nature because it's a smoky palette, but I'm going to try to liven it up as we go on. So as you see, we're just taking a deeper shade, a less deeper, and then a less deeper. And that's what Natasha does. I kind of think, you know what, that Pat does the same thing. When I watch Hung Vango, he does the same thing. And I'm like, these are like professional, top-notch, top-tier makeup artists. So why would I not try what they say versus trying to do things the way people on YouTube say? Because quiet is kept. It's not quiet. We just love makeup. And some people will start their video saying, I'm not a professional, I'm just a makeup enthusiast, you know, but it seems to be very few that this is their job. And it's been their job for like 20, 30, 40 years. And then somewhere along the line, you know, they developed the makeup line. So think about that too when you're watching videos. And also when people are saying, do this or don't do that, think about why are they saying that. Is it because of their eye shape? Is it because of their skin type? Is it because of their complexion? Is it because of their undertone? Don't just try not to I'm not gonna say don't, because you can try not to take what people say as absolute truth. Think about why are they saying that. And that's something that I had to learn, because a lot of stuff wasn't working for me, and I'm like, well, it works for them, you know. Just the things I just said. This is that same shade that we put here. We're just putting more to blend, well, not more, but using the tip of the brush to blend across. And Crystal, I will link her below. She is a professional makeup artist. She does New York Fashion Weeks. She does editorials. Like, she is an actual professional makeup artist. And so when she speaks, I don't agree with everything she says because, again, you know, preferences, skin type, stuff like that. But for the most part, you know, and she tells you what her credentials are. And that's the way that you will know too, like, who somebody really is, because they will let you know, this is what I've done. Or you can Google them and see what they've done versus, you know, somebody like me sitting here saying, you have to do your shadow this way if you want your makeup to look nice. Girl, who are you, troll? Yeah, I'm talking to you, troll. Meaning myself, not y'all. And I just dropped that brush. Okay, we were done with that. We're going to take... I kind of want to do this one because it says Astral White and it seems to have a tint to it. But then I'm kind of wanting to do this one because this is a dual. This would look really nice with that. I kind of want to do this one, but I kind of want to do this one. Damn it. Because this at a certain angle in person has like a lavenderish tint to it, like a pinkish lavender. This one, damn. Damn it. I'm going to take this because I said that first. Even though before the video, my intention was to use this one. But when I held it up like this and I saw how it shifted to this, and I'm thinking that will look great with the blue, we're going to take this one, Astral White. Small, dense brush. If this doesn't work, we're going to use a sponge tip applicator. We're just going to take it and just press. Oh my gosh. And also, as if this is a continuation of my previous sentence, which is not, the first three Motherships, the Celestial shades, are baked. It's a baked formula. They're not the chunky monkeys, which are the bane of my existence. I have learned to work with them, and I don't mind working with them, but I have to be in the mood for it because I know I need to use sponge tip applicators. I know I need to be more careful. I know I need to be more precise. Whereas something like this, dry brush, y'all. Dry brush. You see that? Yeah. So I don't like to use my fingers for makeup. I don't want to take the extra step and wet my brush. I just want to put my brush in it or the sponge applicator in it and it show up on my lid, and this is what this is doing. Part of me wishes that she would go back to this formula for the Motherships, the Celestial shades, but I also know that the chunky monkey ones, they serve a purpose too, because those give you that high shine wet look that a lot of people love. And as I said, I don't mind them like I used to years ago because I learned how to work with them. But initially I was like, this ain't it. Like, this costs too much to be this messy. But the look that you get from those shades is phenomenal. And so they do serve a purpose. And some people really do like that high shine wet look. We're going back to, no we can't because I dropped it. This is the brush that had this shade on it. So we're going to flip it to this side and we're just going to sweep back and forth. Because I wanted to blend with Lilac Dusk, this shade, but I dropped the brush. So we're not going to be able to do that. And I don't want to add more. I just wanted to just blend. So this, I like this. I really like this. I really like this. Oh my gosh. Listen. Wow. I am swiping some more and I am pressing hard because it is a baked shadow. So you do kind of have to dig unless you want to use your finger. I'm speechless. When I turn this way, I don't see much. It looks like Lilac Dusk. But then when you turn it, that blue, that's this shade. This is Astral White. That's what this looks like. Over just eyeshadow primer with a dry brush. Right. So people want to say so. This, I'm trying out this brush. I bought 2 of them, point multiplier at Sephora. This is the Hourglass number 6. And it's very similar to the Scott Barnes blending brush in that it's tapered versus the Hourglass blunt blending brush and the Fenty blending brush. And so I love the Hourglass packer brushes, the number 3s, and for some reason I didn't have any of these, and I'm just like, I don't know. You know, the reviews were mixed on it, and so I was just like, no. But then the point multiplier thing, I'm like, I'm going to go for it. This is the brush that we just used to blend here that had substance on it, and I'm just going to the side that has substance, not adding more shadow. We're just going to just blend a little bit right here because to me it's looking a little funky. That looks better, I think. So yeah, so we're going to, I kind of just want to leave it because I'm thinking I might mess it up, but I want to take Ultimate Taupe, this shade here. Yeah, we're going to take that. We're going to just go straight. You can't see me. So we're going to just tap straight in. And we're going to just put this under our brow bone, between our lid shades and the brow. Oh, that looks nice. Oh. And I did get 2 of these brushes. Because if I like a brush, I get another one. And I thought if I don't like it, I'll just, you know, just use it whenever. And if I do like it, I have 2 already. Because when I like a brush, I do get extras. I was anticipating liking it. And so that's why I got 2, but I didn't want to go overboard and get like 3 because then I'm like, what if I really didn't like it? But first time using it, I do wash brushes before I use them. So both of them are washed. I like this. I'm tapping in again because I want to just blend right here some. Thank you for being here. I know I keep saying that, but I really want you to know that I do appreciate you. I'm tapping in again because we're going to bring that down there. I probably shouldn't have done that because now it's looking, I don't like how that's looking. So we're going to go back to the brush that had that shade on there, which was Depth, this shade. We're not going to add more shadow on it, but we're going to just feather inward and just do small circular motions. And actually we are going to tap in just very lightly. And we're going to tap, 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 tap. We're going to tap in and then tap. This seems to be, I don't want to say a dense shade. It's almost reminding me of Natasha Denona's Creamy Matte Formula. And I know that it's not. Yo, I like this look. Wow. Wow. And this technique for me is working. This technique, oh my gosh. I am so excited. We're going to take NYX Retractable. No, girl. No. I had 2 eyeliners pulled out. We're not going to do that. It came in a gift set. The eyeliner, this is a pencil liner, and a lipstick. I don't use the bullet lipsticks, and it came with a mini mascara, but I told you I have issues with the mascara, so I'm giving those away with the 1K giveaway stuff. Hint, hint, that's what that stuff was I was talking about earlier. Those are going to be some of the questions. It's going to be a scavenger hunt thing. And I bought the eyeliner separate. So even though this is a black, and I don't really want to put a black, we're going to put this on our lower lash line, and then we're going to come back, I think, because I don't know how long this is going to take me to do this. I think we're done. Yeah, we're done. I kind of want to see if this will work for my lower lash line. I'm sorry, this is my lower lash line, my lower waterline, because I do have sensitive lids, sensitive eyes as well. You know what it is? I'm getting overly excited. Because if I put this on my inner rims and I have an issue, let's just go for it. Because how will we know unless we try it? So find the line and then just run it. I do prefer retractable eyeliners for my inner rims because they, even though this is a gel type texture, my thing is when I sharpen pencils, it just doesn't seem right after that because of whatever this casing is, and then I'm paranoid about it flaking or scratching my eye. And so even though I'm using this now, and I will use this on inner rims if it doesn't irritate my inner rims, but once I sharpen it, I will not use it for inner rims anymore. And do we want to do the top? Yeah, so find the line and just run it across. Pause and blink. Some people do lift their lid up, some people just lift their lashes, some people pull the lid. So whatever way is good for you. Some people put it here and like close their eye and run it back and forth. I'm scared to do that because I want to see what I'm doing, even though I can't see my inner rim anyway, so that probably sounds silly. And what I'll do is I will just lightly tap the tip of it just to get any moisture off that may have gotten on there from my eyeball. And that's just a habit. You don't have to do that, but yeah, I'm going to just bring this out to here. This is so much fun. Wow. What are we going to do now? The liquid liner. And then we're going to put color on our lower lash line. You know, let's do lower lash line now because I almost forgot. Because I'm so used to putting NYX retractable eyeliner on my lower lash line and then color under there and then doing upper lash line. So I feel like I'm just kind of doing things in a different way, which I really am. We're going to take Astral White. I don't know. What do we want to put on lower lash line? We're going to take Astral White. Do we want to? No, let's just stick with this. We're going to be sensible. So we're going to take Astral White. And this is just a dense pencil brush. And we're going to put that right here on the first half of our lower lash line. That looks nice. I am just so thrilled at trying a new technique. I think this is only my 3rd time trying the outward inward darker to lighter, and some people have tried it and they were like they just couldn't. And I think it's because we just get so used to, well, I'll speak for myself, I can get so used to doing things a certain way that when I try something different one time, I'm like, nope, that's not it. And so I'm glad that I did keep trying it. This color, oh my gosh, this is that same shade. That's this shade, y'all. And it doesn't even look like it turns blue or anything. And it's called Astral White, but it's blue. Over primer is blue. Over black liner is blue. What? We're going to take Substance, this shade here, and we're going to put that on the remaining lash line. So we're going to put that over here. Y'all, this is nice. I am just, and we're going to bring this up here. I try new things, y'all. Because then if you don't like it, you know what not to do again. And if you try something new for the first time and you don't like it, try a second time. Because it's only makeup, you can wash it off. Like the first time I tried this, I was just kind of like, I don't know. And it wasn't horrible, but I knew I needed to bring my lid shades up higher, like up here instead of stopping down here. Because I was doing it on an angle, which is also what Natasha does and Pat does and Hung Vango does. But then it's also the shape of the eye of the model that they're working on. And so, you know, I tweaked it, and now I'm like, this look is friggin' bomb. This entire lid technique is something that is new to me and is bomb. I think so. I think so. We're going to take the brush we use for this outer shade, and we're just going to buff under here, not adding any shadow on the brush. And I could actually just buff this out with Ultimate Taupe, this shade here, but we're not, because these shades are popping. Here's another tidbit. Still a Junkie 07 was a channel I started in 2007 because the first foundation I was matched to was Stila Cosmetics. And so I was watching YouTube all of 2007, and people I was watching, they were encouraging me to start doing videos. And I was like, no. And they're like, do videos, we'll shout you out, we'll help you grow your channel, blah, blah, blah. So in 2008, I started my channel and I named it Stila Junkie 07. And then when I started using MAC products and other products, instead of saying Stila Junkie 07, Stila being Stila Cosmetics, I would say Still a Junkie 07, because it was still spelled the same way, just minus an L for Still a Junkie versus Stila. And so that's a tidbit too. And Tanya, shout out to Tanya from Tanya's Beauty Box. She used to watch me back then. And someone else recently, oh, I forget her name. Someone else recently, I have a name in mind, but I don't want to say it wrong. She recently found me again, and she said my voice sounded familiar, and she realized it really was me. And I'm like, wow. So people are finding me again from like way back in the day. And I'm just like, wow. So that's what my previous channel was. Life happened, I stopped doing videos for a while, and then I realized I missed it, and so I came back. I'm shaking this, but it's not shaking. This is the liquid liner. Oh, and this is a felt tip. Oh, this might be messy. So that's what that channel was about, and that's why it was named what it was. And as I said, that'll come up again in like a week or so. So we're gonna, I'm shaking it, but it's nothing to shake because it's a felt tip. And so I do have a list of questions. I don't like felt tips. It is skipping over my lash follicles. We're gonna just leave that just like that. Oh man, and we have a lot of looks to do, which means I'll be using this a lot. So maybe halfway through this series, I'll like it, or at least I'll be used to it. And again, it's something new. So we're doing a lot of new things today. We did that powder under eye, which actually, you see what I mean? Once I put shadow there, that helps camouflage too. So we put powder under there for the first time. That light medium 2, medium light 2. We did a new placement technique, and this time taking the lid shades higher up. This side is getting janky. I need to stop because it's just going to get thicker and thicker. I'm trying to get it straight, but all right, that's as straight as it's going to get. And this side is thinner, which I like, but I just wanted to get it even. I'm not going to do too much to get it even because I don't want to mess up the look, because I am really liking it. The liner is nice. I mean, it's going on easily. It's just my lash line, my eyelash follicles are not even. And so I just have to be careful with trying to ensure. I don't like this over here because there seems to be like a gap right here. To ensure that it's not skipping over my lash line follicles and making the line look jagged. That side came out better than this side. This side isn't long enough. I don't want to keep messing with it because once it's there, it's there. Unless I put shadow on top of it. It feels like the felt tip is drying out, and I think because I'm trying to just use the tip of it, because if I use the side of it, that's when it's going to get thicker. But over here, it can be thicker. So we're going to put that down, and what we're going to do, yeah, I'm not used to felt tips, and I don't know if I want to get used to felt tips, to be honest with you. We're going to take this brush, and we're going to take that outer corner shade, that first shade that we put down, which was depth, this shade here. And we're taking this because you see how there's this gap right here. I want to just fill in the gap. Just like that. So we're swiping it again, actually patting in, and where you see this gap right here, we're going to fill in that gap. I'm seeing shadows, so it's making it difficult for me to see. If I look down here, it's a little bit easier. I like that better. Now it's like this funky thing right here. I'm gonna just leave it. My eyes are tingling a little bit. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna take the brush we used for that shade, and we're just gonna feather inward. This side I'm liking. This side right here still seems to be like a funky piece, like right there. So let's take this again, and we're gonna just press. And then we're gonna take this brush and feather inward. Every time I go to to feather it with the fluffy brush, that's when it seems to like just feather away. So we're gonna just press that in, and we're just gonna leave it. Y'all, I am freaking digging this look. Oh my gosh, we're almost at an hour. Yeah, this is gonna be a premiere, which you'll know because you're watching it. We're gonna do, woo, ciao. What blush do we want to do? This is Paradise Venus. I'm kind of thinking that one. This is Love Struck. Not my favorite because of the tone of it. I prefer warmer tone. So I'm leaning towards Paradise Venus. And this is Desert Orchid, which I cannot go wrong. So this is when I wish I can hear you. If you want me to, the last video for this portion of the series, let me know if you want me to do it as a live. So then I can ask you, should I use this one or that one, or put this here or that here? I don't believe I just asked y'all that. And we'll go on that. We're going to use this one right here because we're all sorts of smoky, even though it's supposed to be an ethereal look. We are going to just roll with it. So we're going to take Paradise Venus. So yeah, excuse you. Let me know if the last video for the first part of this series, you want me to do it as a live. Yes or no, that's the question. So we're tapping in, and we're going to start back here. Oh, I do have a, I almost forgot about the highlighter. So I just pulled that out. If I don't have stuff pulled out sometimes, I may not remember. And we're going to blend this. Okay, it's a little dark. Y'all, I crack myself up. If you're laughing with me, thumbs up the video. Or put, yeah, thumbs up the video if you're laughing with me. This side is dark, and I don't want to make this side darker, but we gotta make it even because then I'm gonna try to fix it. Wow. Yikes. All right, so that was Paradise Venus. So what we are going to do, because it just friggin' makes everything perfect, we're going to take a fluffy brush. The brush we used for our face powder, we're going to use that and go into Desert Orchid because this makes everything perfect. This makes everything okay. I cannot go wrong with it. So we're just getting it all over the brush, and look at this. And we still got to put the highlighter on too. So this is Desert Orchid. So this is just going to tone it down. I don't like this line. Actually, it blurred the line. But before I saw like a line right here. Desert Orchid, though, I'm telling you, if I overdo it with a blush, look at, I am so freaking excited. All right, we're going to take a highlighter brush. I hope, where is my other highlighter brush? Did I put you some? Here it is. It was hiding. So we're going to take this brush. This highlighter is Venusian Nude. So we're going to swipe. And we are going to just do this right here. And that is it. So we're going to swipe 3 or 4 times. And that's going to go right on the top line of the blush. And that's going to be it. Y'all, oh my gosh. We're going to take that powder brush again. And we're just going to pat. We're not putting anything. We're just going to pat. Wow. Okay. What are we going to do for lip? There were 3 pat lippies I was considering decluttering. One I tried it. I'm like, I'm keeping it. The other 2 that I was considering decluttering, like if I didn't miss them or didn't realize I still had them. This was one of them, and this was another one. I think this one will be too much. This came in a subscription box. I think this will be like too red. I think we're going to use this one just to see. Excuse me, I had a hiccup there. Just to see what it looks like. I do think the other one, you know what we'll do? This is Flesh 3. This is what we're going to do, and hopefully I won't forget. This is on my hand because I have on white leggings. And I've done this before. This is why I don't use my hands or fingers for makeup, because I will forget. And then I'll lay my hand on my pants and be like, what is this? And as I said, I have on white leggings today, so I don't want to mess that up. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to do that. This is Bronze Venus. I don't remember why I got it or how I got it. Maybe it was a sale going on. I don't know. I prefer her dual chrome lip glosses because I put them over a black liquid lip or a deep brown or a deep red liquid lip. So just regular glosses I tend to not really grab for unless I really just don't know what lippy I want to do. I'm thinking the blush looks a little clownish still. You know what it is? I'm used to, I need to get this off of my hand because I'm going to forget. This is going to be messy because this is dry. But you know what? I have makeup remover wipes over here. So I just need this off because I really have a feeling I'm going to forget this is here and lay my hand on my lap and then ruin a pair of leggings. So that came off and it's not sticky or tacky at all. This was just a dry microfiber cloth that I keep here at my station. Okay. So what it is I'm used to a dark eye and a dark lip. I'm not used to a noticeable blush, and this is noticeable. But, oh my gosh, y'all. I'm going to end this because I'm sitting here looking at this like, this eye look is friggin' bomb. The cheek situation is friggin' bomb. The lip is a gloss. But me doing a new technique for the eye look and loving how it came out and how Astral White is friggin' blue. So what we did was depth, that's the outer corner. And then next to that, we put substance. Next to that, which is more center lid towards inner lid, is Lilac Dusk. And then we took Astral White, and this is on the inner corner. And this is also first half lower lash line, and Lilac Dusk, yes, is on the second half of the lower lash line. Or was it? No, it's this one, I think. I don't know. And so that's what we did. That's the eye look. And we have on 95% pat face, just not the concealer, and not eye primer. Everything else is good. And so I am really digging it. I brung this down too far because I'm looking at that and I'm not liking it. And y'all like, girl, I didn't even notice it. Just leave it alone. I don't want to do this too roughly because then it will just remove more makeup than I wanted to, because I brought that shadow down too far, buffing it out. But we're going to leave it. So, oh, mascara. That's the only other thing. So we're just going to put on Lancome Cils Booster Mascara and then Stacks MAC Mascara in black. And we're going to come back and then the look really will be done. This is the finished look. Let me know what you think. And if you guys are wanting me to do a live for the last look in this half of the series, then we'll figure out like what time and what day is good, so that most of you can be there if you're wanting it to be a live, or if you're okay with premieres. But I did just want to do this one as a premiere because, again, this is hella long. We're at an hour, and there's only just a little bit to edit out. But this is the first video in my month of McGrath's, and I'm excited about it. I am really digging it. I am really loving this palette. I'm really going to go because this is just long. But again, this is what it looks like. And that blue you see is Astro White. That's what it's saying. So thank you. If you're still here, go ahead and subscribe. If you're not, I would appreciate it. I also appreciate when you like the video, you comment. I do reply back to everybody. Share my videos. If you're here on YouTube, you can just click the share button and it'll be different options. You can copy the link, or you can just have it go to your Twitter, Facebook, wherever, Reddit, whatever. But if you're here on YouTube, feel free to just share my link over there and it'll pop up on your community tab, feed thingy. And I have membership. There's a link for that below. And then if you don't want to do that, there is super chat. There's a thing for that below, and the bar that has share, comment, all of that stuff. So anyway, I'm really digging it. I'm really digging it. Thank you for sharing this with me. And if you're watching the replay, thank you for watching. I was going to say thank you again. I just keep saying that because I am just so freaking excited because this look is bomb. It surprised me. Sometimes I surprise myself. I'm babbling. I'm going to go. As always, self-acceptance, self-love. That is the Crazy Troll Nation way. You will see me soon.